Hey guys, it's Coach Damin, and today we're going to bring you 5 finishes that every player under 6 foot must master. Now if you're an undersized player, if you're 6 foot and smaller, you have to find a way to thrive in the paint and thrive around the rim. If your strength is breaking down the defense and getting into the paint, it's not so much a strength if you get to these spots and you can't finish or find passing options. Being able to break down the defender isn't a strength unless you can do something once you've broken them down. So these 5 finishes are going to be things that you should have in your arsenal for when you get to the rim to find success at the rim. Some are going to be separational, where you're going to get near a big and you're going to separate away. Some are going to be more confrontational, where you're going to confront the big and go through. But no matter what, if you're an undersized point guard or an undersized shooting guard, you have to have these in your arsenal to be successful. The first is going to be, very simply, the same foot, same hand finish. This can't be taught enough, and it can't be overstated how important it is to have in your game. When you attack the rim, defenses subconsciously look for you to go outside foot, inside foot, and show. That's when shots get blocked. When shots get pinned on the backboard, it's when players go outside, inside, show. It's very predictable. It's very easy to know when that's going to happen, and when it does happen for an athletic big or an athletic wing, it's easy to block. So what we can do is, as they predict and as they subconsciously think they know what's coming, is we can throw them for a loop if we step outside foot and finish outside hand. It's going to be quicker, it's going to be more efficient footwork wise, but most importantly, it's different than what is normally done, so it makes it very difficult for the defense to predict. Outside foot, outside hand, I've still got protection. I'm still able to protect if the shot blocker is there, but throwing off their timing is everything. Outside foot, outside hand, step right, finish right. Our next finish in our undersized finishing series is going to be the Isaiah Thomas 2-foot floater. Now there are various ways you can shoot floaters. You can come in and go off of 1, or the way we're going to break it down today is you're going to come to a jump stop on 2 and still get into that floater. Now there's a huge advantage to this. If you go to 1, you can very easily get off balance and go into the big who's going to be waiting there to take a charge. Number 2, once you come to that 1, you've limited your options. Now we're teaching the floater today the same way Isaiah Thomas does it, but if you do come to 2 and you don't have that floater, you have pivot options, you can step through, or at the very least, you're on great balance to then kick it out. Today again, we're going to teach the floater. And if you watch Isaiah Thomas, he is the epitome of an undersized guard who is thriving at the highest level. And when he comes and he gets to 2, he has to come to 2 on balance, and then quickly and efficiently get it up over the hands of 7-footers. It's very important when you shoot your floater. If you put it right to the rim, it's going to be easy to block. And if you do put it right at the rim, chances are it's going to be right into the hands of a 7-footer. But if I come to that jump stop and my goal when I shoot it is to get it up over the top of the square, there's no way a big is going to be able to block that. Number 2, you'll notice when he comes to that stop, he doesn't come to a jump stop square to the basket where the defense knows what's coming. He's here where he has defender body ball protection. So that way when he rises, he's locating and squaring on his way into the finish. That makes it more difficult for the defense to block. And then again, thinking about counters, he's positioned himself for counter angles. That's again, the pivot away. It can be a step through, but options he doesn't have if he's square here. Notice if I come to this square jump stop and I pivot away, that's going to be a very difficult angle to pivot. Pivoting angles are created by the way he comes to that jump stop before getting into his floater. Let's take a look at it live to see the Isaiah Thomas 2-foot floater. Our next finish in our undersized finishing series is going to be a move that was originally originated by Pistol Pete Maravich and then later made famous by Rondo. Now, a lot of you have probably worked on attacking the rim, and as you attack straight down the midline, being able to step outside foot and then finish inside hand as the defense looks to block on that outside hand. What Rondo has done is he attacks, and when he takes that left step, instead of jumping to the rim, he steps with his right, extends the ball with his right. So as the shot blocker chases down, what are they going to do? They're probably going to jump to block that shot. And he has established a pivot foot as well as a scoring angle where he can show, and as soon as they jump, he can quickly pivot right to the front of the rim. Now, footwork is imperative on this. So as he attacks, notice there's the pickup on the left, the show with the right, and then back to the finish. One of the second crucial points is that as he attacks, when he shows it, it has to be high enough to get that defender to jump. If he just shows it here at his chest, they may lean, but they're probably going to jump. So he has to show quickly. Notice it's shown here, inside of his shoulder, not extended behind where it can be deflected. It's shown inside his shoulder, pick up, turn, and finish. Again, it was originally created by Pistol Pete. Rondo made it famous, and if you add it to your game, you're going to be known for it as well. Our next finish is going to be a little bit more confrontational. And as that big steps up, instead of trying to fake them, or instead of trying to quickly get the ball up on the glass, when I come at them, I'm going to use a pro hop to separate by them. So I'm actually going to come right to their chest on that pickup before I separate by, again creating angles and creating a ton of space in the lane without a dribble. So as we teach our pro hop today, we're going to go 2 to 2. And so what I mean by that is when I come to this jump here, it's almost like a jump stop, but the ball is going to hit simultaneously with both feet. So as I'm here, ball and feet, and then I'm going to dribble into that jump stop. So notice as soon as the ball and feet hit simultaneously with my first jump, the ball then is over my head and gets me to that scoring angle on the opposite side of the rim. Now, depending on where the defender's hands are, you can go low, you can go shoulder to shoulder, or you can go over top. The important aspect is when I come to that stop, ball and feet, and then I leave. If I pick up the ball before I land, some guys will try to pro hop here to here. Now, obviously that's a travel. So we have to break it down and ball, feet simultaneous, jump stop. Ball, feet simultaneous, jump stop. 2 to 2 for my finish. Now when you work on this, you're going to want to work on it from different angles. Attacking baseline, finishing midline. Attacking right, finishing left. Attacking 45, finishing opposite. But the key is to always go 2 to 2, pro hop, strength, balance, finish. Our last finish is going to be called the glide. And it's for when you attack baseline and that big steps up to take a charge. Now, if you meet your man baseline, there's probably going to be somebody in help side with their head right underneath the rim. And it's going to be a very quick, short 2 steps for them to get their feet right here at the lane to take a charge. So with the glide, we're going to take advantage of them being stationary. And rather than try to spin off, step by, or kick out, we're actually going to step right between their legs. So as that big steps up, if his legs are here, I'm going to step between it, and then I'm going to glide by to the front of the rim for my finish. So it's going to take tremendous body control, and I have to be able to extend fully, or they're going to be able to get their hands on the ball. I'm not trying to jump over them. I'm not going left and then jumping right by their hip. I'm literally foot between their feet and then gliding to the side for that finish. Now, this is an incredibly difficult move to master. But if you are able to master this, when you attack baseline and you see that big step up, you're going to have an option that really has no defense. There's no way that they can slide over without fouling you. If they fall, there's no charge because you haven't touched them. And at the absolute very worst with this move, you get to the front of the rim and miss the shot. That's the worst that can happen. There's no way the defense can guard it. There's no way it can be stopped if you step, glide, front of the rim, finish. Now, each of these moves have varying levels of difficulty. The outside foot, outside hand, it's pretty easy to master. The glide is a whole lot more difficult. But if you're under 6 foot and you add all 5 of these to your arsenal with each hand, you're gonna be very difficult to guard when you attack the rim and get into the paint. Defenses are able to react to one option. If you have 3 or 4, it's gonna be nearly unstoppable. And if you have 5 of these and you're great at all of them, there's no way the defense is gonna be able to react. Now, as you try to work to implement these into your game, I encourage you to try to add 1 or 2 at a time. Don't jump in the gym tomorrow and try to add all 5 of them in a week. Master the outside foot, outside hand. Then master the floater. And spend a month or 2 months adding all of them. Don't look for instant gratification. Understand the process, respect the process, and know that if you slowly implement and add, at the end of that 2 months, you're gonna be deadly with every one of the 5 moves in our undersized guard finishing series.